This is going to be kind of a rant video. If you don't like those videos, I don't know. So yeah, I know the title says like being crippled sucks, and that's not like a clickbait thing, to have pity. No, actually, it does suck. It sucks pretty fucking bad. Being a man with muscular dystrophy, it sucks. I can still stand. I can still move around. I'm wheelchair bound. I don't know if you can see that. I'm kind of in an awkward position. But it sucks because I'm a man that's crippled. I, myself, firsthand, I've lived in multiple states across the nation, Florida, Montana, Colorado, now in Texas, right? I love it, Texas. I love it here. Texas is, it's great. People are really nice and friendly. And I'm not really someone that believes that people, like, owe me anything, But the frustrating part about being crippled is when you want to make a living for yourself. You actually want to work, and every place that you apply for literally will tell you that they won't hire you because you're handicapped. And when I say that, I'm just trying to work at places. I have tried Walmart, I've tried Dollar General, I have tried Family Dollar, just simple retailers, stocking shelves. Walmart, after I told them my situation, they actually offered me a job, and I went for an interview, and it was in apparel, just folding clothes. That's not a joke. They told me that's what it was. I went in there, did the whole job application, thing. I did the job interview, and it went great, and then I got home, and they decided to give that job to someone else. And I asked them why, and they said it's because they don't know what my capabilities are. Okay. Now, the frustrating thing is that they offered me the job. Okay, and then I looked on their website for, jobs that were available there, and one of them was a shelf stalker. And I asked them about it, like, on the phone, and they said that it's not available. They said that they have no stocking positions available, and I said, well, on your website it says. And then they changed it, and they said, oh, well, we do. We just, but are you sure you'd be able to do something like that? Because we could put you down. And, I told them, yeah, I'm determined. I want to work. And never heard anything back. The hardest part about being handicapped is I actually want a life. Okay, and I'm kind of pushed into this corner where I have to live off of federal funded programs like SSI, food stamps, the shit like that, Medicaid, okay, and I don't want to be stuck on that. It's embarrassing going to a store, pulling out a food stamps card just to buy a box of cereal, you know what I mean? To buy some lunch meat. It is so fucking embarrassing, and it really does suck. Okay, it sucks so fucking bad. Right now, okay. Another thing, when it comes to trying to find a job, there is state programs that help people like me get a job. It's called Voc Rehab. Okay, and what they're supposed to do, is they are supposed to find work for you that you can do. You do this whole assessment thing, and then they go to individual workplaces and stuff like that, and they actually try to help you get and do the job. And I have been through that program in all 3 states I've lived, including Texas, and it's weird, but the program in Montana was a little bit better, but they still couldn't find me a job. Florida, I don't know what was going on there. They never actually got back to me. Now, Texas, it was a little frustrating because my counselor told me that workplaces are allowed to deny me work. Like they're allowed to discriminate against me being crippled. And that's frustrating. 1 second. Let me check my chicken. I think it's done. You guys think it's done? I think it's done, right? Oh, it's done, right? Yeah. It's done. Where was I? Right. So, folk rehab. They're supposed to help me get a job. They told me that it is okay for workplaces to deny me a job. And they make it sound like it's okay. Like, well, a workplace can deny you a job if they say you cannot complete that job. Okay? I hate that. I hate that shit. I'm determined. I can stock shelves. I can work. Let me work. Okay? Dollar General literally told me that they would not hire me because they were worried about shelves falling on me. You know, it is so frustrating being crippled on so many levels that people do not understand in some areas. And I'm not saying that every person who's handicapped goes through this, because, you know, everybody's handicap is different, right? But from my experience, I'm not even bitching when I say this. It sucks. Okay? Like the worst part is when I was a kid and I was going through school, my teachers would sit there and always tell me I was a little bit rebellious, and it wasn't because like I was trying to be. I was a little bit more self-aware than what other students were, and it was because I was handicapped and I kind of knew how like things were because, you know, the way I was treated. And I kept telling teachers like, well, you know, I don't see a point in me continuing school because, well, I'm not going to get hired anywhere. Okay, no, I know there's going to be a lot of people. They probably come at me and say, well, that's your issue. You didn't get your diploma, blah, blah, blah. No. They hire teenagers at Walmart. They don't have diplomas. They hire old people that got diplomas. You know what I mean? That's what places like McDonald's and Dollar General and Family Dollar, you know, Dollar Tree. That's what places like that, they hire people like that constantly. Okay? And let me tell you something else. Okay? I would fucking love to be able to work at McDonald's. And that's not a joke. I'm not just saying that. That is me being legit. Okay? McDonald's pays around $14, $15 an hour. Okay? In my current situation right now, I could be living pretty good with that. You know, if I'm working full time, 40 hours a week, I'd be making bank. You know, I'm not gonna lie about it. Like I'd probably, throughout the time I've been in this situation that we're in, I probably would have put a down payment on a Tesla. That's how well they get paid. And it does frustrate me because I see people bitch about it all the time. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, I believe workers should be treated with dignity and respect and all that stuff. But dude, they're like physically able and they're acting like they're surgeons. They want $30 an hour for flipping burgers that are already fucking cooked. And not just that, but every fucking machine in McDonald's, most fast food places, is like automated. It's on a timer and just knows how long it needs to be cooked. Okay, and people bitch about that, getting paid $15 an hour for that shit. There's fucking people at Walmart, okay, that are paid just to sit there at the self-checkout center just to watch. Getting paid $14 an hour, full time. You know, and it's just so frustrating. It's like, oh boy, I can do that. Fuck. I mean, I just sit here all day anyways. Goddamn. You know, like my wife right now, okay, she's in the hospital, okay, all the way in Lubbock, Texas. I'm not going to say where I am currently, but I'm about 2 hours away, a little bit more. I think about 2 hours and 30, okay? She is all the way there, and I'm kind of stuck. I have to rely on my mother to drive all the way from Colorado to take me. Like, you know, that is so embarrassing. That is the most embarrassing thing. I'm 26 years old. Got no job. Barely got no money. I can't even provide for my wife. I can't get to my wife. You know, and it's so frustrating. You know, I sit there and I watch all these people all around me just acting so happy all the time. You know, that they can just go out and do stuff, but then they get really pissy with having to work. Like, goddamn, dude. Like, I've seen people bitch that they have to walk to work. You know what I mean? Like, dude, if I could walk, I would be walking 20 miles to work. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I would be working blue collar jobs. That's not a joke. I wouldn't even care if I had to do the shittiest shit, clean sewers. I don't care if I'm getting paid like, you know, like 20 bucks an hour. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I will clean that shit clean. I don't give a fuck if I'm doing repairs. I don't give a fuck what. Like, people bitch so much, and they have no idea how good they got it. I sit there and I see people like, oh, we're struggling. Oh my God, I'm struggling. And yet they can afford to, like, buy makeup. They can afford to buy PlayStations. They can afford to put a down payment on a brand new fucking car. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you're not struggling, bro. You're just really bad with money. Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm so fucking fed up with it. Like, I am so sick of it. Like I sit there and I ask God constantly why he put me in this situation. Not because I'm not grateful, but it's just like, you know, dude, like, oh man. Like, the worst part is, right, is having muscular dystrophy. My hands, right, I would say they look relatively normal, I suppose. I guess except for this chicken finger that I have here. But I can't type very well. I can't really write very well. I can't do that stuff. Like, throughout school, I had to have like a scribe and, you know, all that stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, dude, I could do jobs like folding clothes. Just give me a fucking job. Like, you know, god damn, dude. Like, I have felt like nothing but a drag on people my whole life because of this shit. Like, dude, my mom has been loaning me money out the ass, and same with my dad. Okay, my dad is disabled too. He has Charcot-Marie-Tooth muscular dystrophy. And he got no job. He lives on Social Security. Him and my cousin are having to, like, bunk together just to, you know, pay bills. And, you know, my mom, I don't know. Ugh, shit, you know. Dead serious. Like, I actually feel like total shit right now. Like, I actually miss my wife, like, badly. Like she was flown out on the helicopter to a hospital, and like, it hurts me so bad that I have a piece of shit truck that I can't afford to repair. I can't afford to even get the oil changed. I can barely afford the fucking insurance on the damn thing. Okay, and I can't sell it because we had to take a loan out to buy our house. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I could sell it, right? But it's not worth what the bank, you know, told me it was. Like, they said it was like it was worth $7,000, so they gave us $4,000, and then, you know, now the damn thing is just, it's a piece of shit. Like, I want to let the bank take it, but that would make my credit go even worse than it is. And don't even get me started on credit as a crippled. You can't open many loans. You just can't do it. You know? And if you try to buy stuff from Aaron's, which is like a rent-to-own place like Rent-A-Center, right? You rent like a washing machine or a fridge, or I guess a video game station. You can rent to own a TV. You can rent to own all kinds of shit. They don't report it. they do not report that shit to the credit bureaus, you know? So like your credit score, no matter how many of those things you're getting, it ain't gonna fucking show up. So like your credit can't get to a point where like, oh hey, well, I can get a business loan, you know? You know, it's man. I don't know. I'm probably just bitching. To tell you the truth. I'm stressed out. My wife's in the hospital, and I'm waiting for my mom. I'm a 26-year-old man, and I'm waiting for my mother to come take me to the hospital. She has to drive 7 hours here to do that. So yeah. Well, anyways, that's just me bitching. It's not doing anything. But I'm really sick of it. And I don't really know what to do to change it. There's not really programs that can help. The ones that they say that they help, they don't. So yeah. Well, I got that out of my system. If you listen, hey, thank you for being my therapist for just 16 minutes. Thank you. Deuces.